so excited?
I am. Today, it's going to be an incredible afternoon.
So we have to say this because you and I are both going to Sabrina. We're going together to Sabrina Carpenter tomorrow night, but you actually will be there.
I will. Tonight and tomorrow, back-to-back sold-out shows at PPG Paints Arena.
This is incredible. You're going to have a day, but it's incredible.
We are going to be, so for these big shows, we broadcast right across the street at the Pittsburgh Marriott City Center, and I get to see all the visitors because they're staying at the hotel.
Right.
And then I get to see every mom and daughter duo who are doing exactly what we're doing tomorrow night by bringing all their girls together. There's going to be so many sequins and glitter. There's going to be so many first concerts happening. It really depletes the social battery, but meeting everyone is awesome, and Sabrina Carpenter is so fun.
I cannot wait.
Huge girls' night.
Going to be a great time.
It will be.
This show is going to be a great time too. We hope that you're comfy, cozy, maybe sitting on the couch with a cup of coffee. Take this hour for you. We're going to have some great conversations, including talking about if you're trying to find a new job.
Yeah.
We know that a lot of people are. A new poll says nearly 50% of people aren't confident they could land a new one if they even wanted to. So business expert Holly Wilbanks from the Wilbanks Consulting Group is here. She's going to help us tackling those career choices and what we should do next and how we can handle all of that.
She makes it all feel very calm.
Doable.
Doable,
yes.
one step at a time. So if you're looking to do this, Holly will help.
All right, but we want to get first into our family feed, and we're going to start with you. You've been busy. You take full advantage of every single waking hour in your day. I don't know how you do it.
I don't know either. I'm just going to stop whenever my physical body stops. But my family is still on tour. This may shock you because I'm pretty sure this has been every family feed in October.
Yeah.
We're doing more of this Tour Day Fall Festival. And this past weekend, we were at Trax Farm. And it was so funny because this was another example how every single Saturday in October has been a solid 1,000 degrees.
Yes.
And we dressed for Saturday soccer, as I know that you have Saturday activities. And you dress because the game is at 10 a.m. and it's chilly. Then we got to Trax Farm around lunchtime and boom, we are sweating. So you will notice that I have a hoodie on, but Nora has a t-shirt and shorts on. You never know the climate.
I know.
But it is so funny because I realized that with our first child, with my daughter Nora, I used to plan outfits for the pumpkin patch.
Oh, sure.
We're fall is cute. When I thrive.
Yes.
We've mentioned we're a little witchy. So October is when we come to life. Now having a second child, especially being my son, I'm just glad everyone made it to the pumpkin patch with pants on. Like, that's all I ask.
Well,
no matching fits.
Just become more realistic.
They do.
You know?
Less pressure.
Listen, there is nothing wrong with just having one. Like, kudos you, but there's a difference. There's a difference. It's not, no comparison here. There's just a difference.
Totally. You loosen up a little bit.
You don't have a choice.
No, and these family pictures, they used to be our Christmas card on the pumpkins at Trax, and now I'm just like, smile, everyone. Everyone's kind of half smiling. Perfect.
Yeah.
Took us 80 tries, but it was amazing. Trax, you're doing such a good job at your fall festival. We live right behind it, so we pretty much live there.
It's so funny you say that. Sunny is always the one that has sun in her eyes, and so she's always like this. Like, she's not even looking. She just...
My girl. She's like, that's annoying. This is not for the Christmas card.
Stop. I'm not here.
No. You've had a busy week.
I have, and actually I wanted to share something really important, and this is a good reminder to everyone out there. So I got my mammogram yesterday. Yep. This is my second mammogram, so here I am at AHN Wexford. What's really interesting is that we filmed my first mammogram, if you remember this, last year. So now, and we did it to coincide, coincidentally, with Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so every Breast Cancer Awareness Month now, it will be my reminder to get my mammogram.
That's perfect.
Last year was unique because it was my first one, but we also had a camera there. So it was, you're like, tell me more.
Yeah, you sure did. I remember that whole experience. Our amazing photojournalist, Scott, went with you.
Yeah. Something that he'll remember too, I'm sure. Like, how do I do this? I'm going to stand over in the corner, but we need to capture
journalism.
But it took a little bit longer. Yesterday was a true, authentic, I'm here for my appointment. I'm going to go back for my mammogram. I'm going to leave 15 minutes. Like, when I tell you, I spent 10 minutes scrolling on my phone, 2 minutes changing, and then whatever it was, and back there getting the imaging done. It is so quick. In fact, I told my mom the other day, I said, I'm mad at you. And she said, why? And I was like, you told me that it was like your boob in a vice. And I was like, that's not it. And she's like, I know it's gotten better. And I'm like, we have to stop spreading
the narrative.
Yes.
And especially
it's not bad.
for people like myself. I'm 37, so I'm not of the age where I think that we should start getting mammograms much earlier than my age. That's a conversation for a different day.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten a chance to get it yet, and you're right. That's the only thing I've ever
that you've ever heard. It's not painful.
Are these horror stories?
No, the worst thing about it is that you kind of have to like stand awkwardly. So they're like positioning you, and you feel like you're about to take a really bad picture. Like they're like chin up, chin down. Like, you know?
It's against everything you're comfortable with.
But it's not painful. It doesn't hurt, and it's over in a flash. So just do it. If you haven't done it in a while, do it, please.
Get it off your list.
Yeah.
It could save your life. Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I love that it happens in October, too. Nice little reminder of your
Right.
first one.
Right.
In today's theme of the beginning of our show is going to be love, and if in a loose way, kind of. And if there's anyone that knows a good or bad relationship, it is Miss Jennifer Lopez.
Can she just find her guy?
I know. Well, funny you should say that because she is now putting her finger on why she thinks that love hasn't gone her way. Now, she has been engaged 6 times, married 4.
Okay.
And when Howard Stern asked her about her complicated relationship with love,
Yeah.
this is what she had to say. Check it out.
Do you think you've truly been loved?
No.
No. And do you think you really have experienced loving someone?
Yes.
You have.
Yeah.
And when you can't get that love back,
What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable, it's that they're not capable.
they can't love.
They don't have it in them.
Ugh.
Wait,
So-
did this become therapy on Howard Stern? Have I been missing something here? Because this is not the Howard Stern that I remember.
No, I think that he asked. The thing about Howard Stern is that he asks perfectly placed questions right when he feels like they're pulling down their guard. And that was a great opportunity to get in there. She's never admitted that publicly before, but she goes on to recall that these men in her life have given her everything. They have given her the rings, they've given her the marriages and the big old houses.
Yeah.
And they have never truly been able to give her the emotional love that she needed. Now, she did go on to admit, I don't want to say that she just pinpointed these men. She went on to say that it was also because she truly did not love herself. But the comments obviously sparked immediate reaction from the men that they've been with. I mean, there's been 9 of them, and a lot of them have been public figures. One of her ex-husbands, Johnny Noah, pushed back publicly and essentially was like, hey, J-Lo, this is you. It's the call's coming from inside the house, girlfriend. You are not the victim here. So obviously we're going to come back and forth that's 9 male egos that have just been completely shot. To say that these men aren't capable of loving her, I think is probably a very lofty statement. We're going to go on. You just saw some of those pictures of her exes. And again, she has been engaged 6 times, married 4. Could it be that all of these men are incapable of loving her, or is the call coming from inside the house? Is it her? When's it time to look inward?
I mean, I'm not Jennifer Lopez, so I can't say, but I do feel like maybe she's just not attracted to the right people. And it's not that those people are not the right people for somebody else. I just think, is she going after qualities that just aren't right? I mean, we all know this, like, you can't change them kind of thing. So I almost wonder, like, is she going after somebody because of like X, Y, and Z, but really she wants A, B, and C, and so she's trying to make those 2 things the same. I don't know if I'm making any sense
No,
here.
you are.
But
You're trying to build her perfect man.
like, she likes the way that they look, and she likes the way that they do this and they do that, but they're not at the core what she really wants, and so she's going after the wrong guy. And that's just what I think. I think that a lot of people find themselves in the wrong relationships, not because the person is bad or can't love them, but because it's just not the right person for them.
Right. And here's
Over and over and over again.
And to go along with that, I did some research on these because I was like, 9. There's 9 different. I mean, this has been a long time of following J-Lo's relationships.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck, star, obviously huge Hollywood star. A-Rod. Huge baseball star. We have Bo Casper Smart, who he went by Casper. He was one of her backup dancers. Mark Anthony, huge international star. So half of me is thinking, all right, you're going after the star power. These people need to meet you where you are. You are an incredibly successful woman. Very, very talented woman. Oh my God, and empires. And so many perfumes. So many perfumes. But also, I can't imagine J-Lo with, you know, Jimmy down the street either.
Right. No.
So
she's not J-Lo from the block anymore.
she is very far from the block.
Jenny from the block, not J-Lo. You know what?
right.
I've had a week. You've been with us all week. You know that I have not had my stuff together. Maybe this is what she needed, though. Maybe she needed an off-site You've heard of
Maybe.
these for companies,
Sure
right?
have.
Okay, so CBS Mornings recently had on Simone Oliver. She has worked at so many big companies and corporations. She's worked at the New York Times, she's worked at Meta. More recently, she worked at BET. And she recently wrote an article in Elle that's caught a lot of attention about doing a couples offsite. Take a listen.
It is very much like everything is on the table because the kids and the logistics are not the only part of our relationship.
Right.
That's not how we got together.
And it starts to take over.
It completely takes over.
But would you recommend this for all couples or only certain ones? Because I can imagine some lovebird romantics being like, look, I don't want to use business jargon to talk about my personal life.
Completely understandable. And I think it's less about, you know, again, leaning on the business. We don't need another meeting in our lives, right? But it's always about the connection. That's the core. Let's find our way back to connection. When we stop collaborating and it feels like we're just coexisting, that's when that's a flag.
Okay, so you know
Wow.
I actually love a good meeting. So, and I do.
She does.
I love a good
Thrives in a meeting.
So I do think, and I just actually spoke with a friend not too long ago. They went away for the weekend, and he was saying, we're going to come back and it's just going to be the same. And I think that we take these weekends away, but we know that when we leave, we are coming back to a bigger pile of laundry, and we still need to order the groceries, and the kids are going to need all these things from us because we weren't here to handle those things. So I almost feel like those weekends away need to be more productive. They can be, I don't want to say like a business, but you do have to tackle some of that stuff. She mentioned that they even tackle intimacy. Like, are they intimate enough? Are they not? Like talking about some of the core things of their relationship and truly like getting down to the nitty gritty of it, not just like, let's sit back and order room service.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and even though that sounds so
Lovely,
fun,
yes.
so fun. I do say, Mark and I have tried to touch base a little bit more often because we realized, I would say, at the end of the last school year that we were coexisting. We were two ships passing in the night.
Yeah.
I was like, love you, hope you have a good day. I couldn't even see his face because, you know, he's running after one to do the other. I will say we have now tried to have this intentional time where we kind of set it aside, and it's not necessarily, how are you feeling about our intimate life? It's more like, you good? Are you good?
Right. Checking
And
in.
it has to be off-site.
Yeah.
It cannot be in your own home.
Well, because I saw your video, you posted a story on Instagram, I think last night, where you two were laying in Nora's bed while they're fighting in the shower.
Yes.
Even that, though, I feel like is a connection that's outside of doing anything else.
Yes.
You know, like it's finding these ways to connect. And so if it's an offsite where you get a weekend away and you have a nice dinner, but you're also handling some of that business stuff that you don't get to talk about, and like making sure that we're on the same page with everything and moving forward in the right direction. Right.
Write it down, because there have been certain things where I didn't realize that was annoying him. And I feel like he came to the table and was like, all right, let's talk about it. The Keurig, why are you leaving the pot in? I keep running it twice. And my coffee's water. And I'm like, I didn't know that annoyed you, but it was starting his day on a bad note. And touch base, take notes, offsite.
The problem with the offsites, though, is you can't expense it. Who am I expensing it to? There's no business
It's a
to
write-off.
expense it to.
Write-off.
Still to come on Talk Pittsburgh, where can you get the most bang for your buck this Thanksgiving? We've done the research, and we'll tell you where to find the best deals for your Turkey Day dinner.
And it's the bloodthirsty botanical adventure that's taking root in the South Hills. The team behind an upcoming production of Little Shop of Horrors is spilling the plant-based tea about the show. That's next.
Does it have to be human? Does it have to be mine? Where am I supposed to get it?
Me Seymour, feed me all night long.
Yes, you know the story. A timid flower shop worker, a mysterious man-eating plant, and plenty of campy chaos. The cult classic Little Shop of Horrors is sprouting up on stage, courtesy of the Heritage Players in the South Hills.
The show opens this Friday at the Seton Center in Brookline. And joining us now is director Nick Nemec and lead actors Chad Elder and Chelsea Davis. I always forget how dark this show is.
Yeah, it's a little dark, but it's fun.
It's so fun. and like we said, campy. It's very fun.
Yeah.
Tell us how you guys are bringing this to life on stage.
Yeah, so we really looked at the show in the kind of historical context of it. We're setting it in the 60s, very, you know, what you'd expect from Little Shop of Horrors, but also taking the idea of the American dream. And that's what this is kind of, these two characters are looking for their version of the American dream and anything they'll do to get it. Which kind of resonates today too, as the American dream seems further away from
Right.
reachability. That's a word.
Absolutely. We're making it a word.
Yeah,
I
great.
love it.
I think we're going to make up words later, so don't worry.
Totally.
Oh, great. Perfect.
It's the theme of the show. And Chad and Chelsea, what cool roles to be able to play. I feel like, especially as actors, these are two that you just look at and you're like, everyone can relate to these two. So tell me more about how you're kind of bringing your own flair to the two leads.
I'll go. This is actually my 4th time playing Audrey. I absolutely adore her, and I have tended to lean more into the ditziness of her and try or fail. In this one, I kind of want a little bit more edge to her, a little bit more rawness at moments. She's still fun. She's still a little spacey. But I want you to feel that Skid Row's not really a great place to grow up.
Right, right. And what about for you?
Yeah, and Seymour, this is, I've been involved with the show a few times before, but this is my first time playing Seymour. It's my favorite musical of all time.
Ever, mine
Just
too.
a dream role. And you know, whenever you take on a show that's so familiar, my approach is always sort of to throw it away and start from scratch and figure out what's your take on all these fun songs that people, know and love. So I think, with our production, you're going to get all the things you love, but we're putting our own spin on it and really leaning into the dark comedy of it. It's going to be really fun.
And
awesome.
How do you bring the plant to life? On stage, I mean,
a lot of
right?
work.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has to be hard.
So we're very grateful for the Seton Hill. They had the puppets that they rented to us. We have 4 puppeteers that make her work. There's 4 different versions of the plant that goes from like a little hand puppet to 3 people in one giant, bigger than a car.
Magic.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Not to say that I go for the plant, but that is a very important
Go
part.
for the plant.
Oh, yes.
Everything else is great. The plant is
Yes.
incredible.
You need it to be the
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna play a little game.
Great.
And we're calling it Feed Me Seymour.
Yes.
You have to guess if the food we're describing to you is real or fake. So are you ready to play Feed Me Seymour?
Wow,
Ready.
wow, wow, wow.
You want to do the first one?
I would love to. And I need everyone to just, I apologize for whatever we're mispronouncing.
We told you it was gonna happen.
Casu marzu. It's a cheese that's crawling with live insect larvae. Real food or fiction?
I'm going real.
I think real.
Yeah.
Look at you guys.
Already doing
So
it.
hot.
Yeah.
You are right. It's a Sardinian delicacy made with live maggots.
Yum.
My cooking's not so bad, family. Could bring that home.
Next up, plomeek soup, a traditional Vulcan dish known for its bland broth-like flavor, served as a morning meal and often associated with logic and restraint. Real or fake?
Logic tells me fake.
Fake.
Oh, so good. This is Star Trek creation. Loved by the Vulcans.
Vulcan.
Not found in any Earth kitchen, though. Not yet, anyways.
Why do we keep saying Vulcans like we all know what
We
that
all were like, yeah, that's a country.
totally.
All up on foreign affairs.
We know knowledge.
We know knowledge.
Tribble tartare, a controversial dish from the Klingon Empire said to be made with finely chopped
I know
tribble
that
meat.
one.
Illegal in most Federation zones. Real or fake?
Fake.
Fake.
And I'm sorry, why do you know that? You
The Klingon. I don't know what that's from. It's a Star
Isn't
Wars.
it also Star
It's
Trek? We're
maybe.
doing a lot of Star Trek
I've never
today.
seen one.
Alante-
Or a Star Wars.
You know what?
I have
Alante
brothers.
come up with. I feel
You
like
are
he-
right. It's
yeah.
a deep cut Star Trek joke. Tribbles are more trouble than they're worth and not on any menu. Look at that.
I think you guys know the answer to this one. Rocky Mountain oysters, served with dipping
Real.
sauce, but surprise, they're not seafood. Real or fake?
Real.
You can have a ball with that.
Heyo! And that's actually what it is. So, we'll just leave it at that. We'll just move on.
Great.
This was so fun, and I think that we could do it all day, but we could not thank you guys
Thank you.
enough.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Very
on
much.
this.
And you nailed the game, too. Little Shop of Horrors opens tomorrow at the Seton Center in Brookline and runs through Sunday, November 2nd. We're going to have more information on our website. Go to kdka.com/talkpittsburgh.
That was awesome. Coming up on the show, are you looking for a creative escape that doesn't involve loud crowds or pressure to be perfect? Learn more about the studio where the mess is part of the magic. That's next.
There's a salon on the north side that doesn't specialize in hair or nails, but will still leave you feeling refreshed.
At War Street's Art Salon, adults come to relax, create, and connect, and no art skills are required, thank goodness. Owner Clarice Fern is here to share more about this feel-good space. And if someone's never heard of you, tell us more about what exactly you guys do, because this whole concept is so amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, so we are, what we're kind of most famous for in Pittsburgh now is our craft cafe, which is like a restaurant, but instead of food, you're ordering crafts off of a menu to enjoy by candlelight.
And we're actually going to get into one of your fall specials in just a moment, but I love what you brought here to show us to kind of highlight what you do, because you said you can pick maybe your specialty, like if you love watercolors or if you love working with charcoal. But you can also pick by intention. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so everything has an intention with it. I curated each craft to help people. For example, mindful charcoal is there to help us release perfectionism. So
that's me.
Sign us up.
Yeah, if you're friends with perfectionism, which many of us are, it really helps that. So you can kind of choose, oh, what do I want to feel today? And it really helps you regulate your nervous system that way.
I love this. Let's get started on this beautiful pumpkin, because the end result
is so cute.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so this is what I invite you to do. You're going to grab either with the grabbers, or you could just pick it up with your hand or your nails.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
Are these faux flowers or are they
They're
pressed?
real. They're pressed dried flowers. So they have that
Gorgeous.
beautiful kind of finish that way. And then this little palette here is your Mod Podge. And you'll quite literally just paint over top.
Oh, so we're going to put it on and then paint on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it easy, because I was wondering, how do we get it? I'm going to get this all over my hands and I don't know how to.
You can also put it underneath and then on top. It's
Probably
a little bit of a learning curve, like all of our crafts, which helps us, again, practice patience, reconnect with ourselves, and just really helps us really slow down.
See, you know, I'm hearing what you're saying, and also our producers are telling us we have 2 minutes left.
Right.
So,
Tell me exactly. So it's a little bit of both we're balancing, but I am now seeing that this does make you kind of slow down and pay attention. Are you noticing that the people who are coming into your cafe are just in need of a break?
Yes, a big thing that people say when they come in is, I can't believe I didn't look at my phone for the full 2 hours I was here. It's like really helping to get into a flow state and just work with our hands.
and one of my favorite things that you offer is there's coffee and tea while you're working, while you're doing your thing, which is exactly what I would need to just pause and sip.
And we put everything in a little vintage teacup too, so you feel like you're kind of playing with your inner child and having a tea party while you make crafts.
Now, what is your ideal, oh my God, a tea party while you make, this is everything that younger Kelly wants to do. Truly, this is childhood trauma resolving itself right here. But is this typically a girls' night? I feel like this would be a great date night too, to kind of reconnect with your partner.
Yeah, it's really great for date nights and solo dates too. People will come in and meet other people, but it's very popular as a girls' night. We get a lot of girls and parties there, bachelorette parties and things too.
I was going to say, and especially with, I know there are a lot of people who are sober curious or have like completely gotten rid of drinking altogether for a bachelorette party who wants to come in and do something fun that is not centered around alcohol or drinking. This seems like a great option too.
Absolutely. Yeah, people really love to have something to do that's not centered around that.
I'm not going to lie, I ripped a couple of the petals off, but in the process, I also repaired, took a deep breath.
Look at that.
Got back to it.
You got out your rage and then you cured it all in one fell swoop. What inspired this idea? Was it your own personal need for a brain break?
Kind of, a little bit of that, and I also just noticed that art felt really inaccessible to people maybe who don't identify as artists, and I wanted to curate a space that felt more like you're having a night out at a restaurant, but you're making crafts than like, I have to go make something beautiful or I have to do it exactly the way the teacher's doing it. I wanted it to feel more accessible and relaxing than the high pressure experience.
Okay, well this is the place to be, and I don't know that I want to keep working. I actually kind of want to stay and hang out with you and just do this for the rest of the day, but unfortunately we can't. We're just so thankful that you came in today.
Or the rest of my life. I am more relaxed
than you've ever been.
Ever. I needed you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here. If you would like to learn more about War Street's Art Salon and their offering, we're going to have more info for you on our website. Look how cute.
I want to keep doing, I have to finish this now. The perfectionism is kicking back in.
It is.
Still to come on Talk Pittsburgh. Do you want to buy a full Thanksgiving spread for less than a tank of gas this year? The viral grocery deal everyone's talking about. That's coming up next.
hosting the holiday meal doesn't have to drain your wallet. Like, how does feeding 10 people for $40 sound?
It sounds impossible, but a major grocery chain just dropped a deal that's changing the holiday game. I didn't think that would be that hard to say.
No, I know. It was that surprising.
It's that unbelief that I just can't.
Truly is. And of course, it's coming from none other than Aldi. The 2025 deal is nuts, and it is letting customers build a complete Thanksgiving dinner for 10 people, pricing each person at just about $4. Now, this includes every single thing you would need. There's 21 items in all, but think about the traditional Thanksgiving meal, then add a couple extras. You're really zhuzhing it up. Like, we don't always have mac and cheese, but Aldi's offering that.
Right. Well, their mac and cheese is so good.
At Aldi?
Yeah.
Oh, pro tip.
Little pro tip.
Never said no to a noodle and cheese. But there's no membership, no coupons that you need.
Right.
These are already priced right now as we speak to fulfill this deal, and it goes until Christmas Eve. So I really love how if you're celebrating Thanksgiving later, maybe you want to do this for Christmas, if you want to keep the party going for those well-priced items. But this deal is even cheaper than last year, $7 cheaper, which is amazing to me because everything in my life is $50 more.
I don't know how it's happening, but it is.
The Aldi math is mathin'.
It's great.
To me, but Aldi, they are not the only heroes that are helping us save some money this Thanksgiving. Yes, thank you so much. There's a couple other bundle deals that big box places are doing, and we really wanted to share those with you because I know there's a ton of you watching that maybe hosts and are maybe looking at the prices of everything thinking, I don't want to refinance my house for my family. And I don't blame you. So we're going to start with Walmart. Their basket is less than $40. Again, serves 10 people for less than $4 a person. And it includes all of the same amazing deals. Giant Eagle, a local favorite. They have a Jenny-O whole turkey dinner for $79.99. That one serves 6. A lot of other options on their website if you want to do some shopping. Honey baked ham. This is my family's favorite.
Yeah.
They can serve 14 to 18 people for $180.
Honestly, that's a lot of people, and you're feeding them for. I mean, it's a lot of money still, but it's a good price.
It is. It's cheaper than you're going to do if you do it individually.
Yeah.
And then last up is the Bob Evans Farmhouse Feast. This one's already baked, just needs heated. For $132, you can serve 8.
This is not a plug, but they actually were on the show last year with their Bob Evans.
I remember.
Do you remember this?
Yes.
And it was good. It was
so good.
So there are some good options out there. I know that things are tight for so many, and I think for families, they are so conflicted about they want to provide the memories of the holidays, and for so many of us that centers around food, but being unable to because of the price of everything.
Absolutely.
So it's great that there are some cheaper options out there.
And we also, in our family, my aunt and my sister-in-law do 2 beautiful, on either side of the family, beautiful Thanksgivings. And this year, no one asked, no hostess asked, but we just said, can we make it a potluck?
Yeah.
Instead of one, usually I bring a pie because I don't cook, and I probably will again this year. But if you are the person who just shows up with a bottle of wine ready to party, this is not going to be the year for that.
Yeah.
Ask to take on a side, ask to take on something that will travel easily. I just think that we should all be coming together now, realizing no matter what financial situation you're in, everything's double.
Everything is double. And there are just some things like you don't want to sacrifice on the table. Like I need that combo of cranberry, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and gravy, like that one big bite.
Mixed
up together. So
they
good.
belong together.
Oh my gosh.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, I'm glad you brought us this info now so we can start planning ahead.
There you go. Still to come on Talk Pittsburgh, if our conversation made you hungry. Know it did for me. Maybe think twice before grabbing that bag of chips. We're diving into the science behind processed foods and sharing family-friendly swaps that won't cause chaos.
And are you stuck between staying put and starting fresh? Find out how you can take control of your career path even when the job market isn't making it easy. Stay with us. More Talk Pittsburgh is coming up next.
Ultra-processed snacks you can find in vending machines and the grocery aisle are super convenient. We know that, but what makes them fresh and cheap also makes them really bad for our bodies.
Dr. Brenda Vendazabal is here to break down what processed really means and how these foods affect our bodies and what realistic snack swaps we can help make for our kids. Because as parents, I think we're so stuck. We know that these are easy options, especially when they come home off the school bus.
Just throwing them at them. Take something.
It's too easy.
It's too easy. Well, and I'm so glad that you're here because we kind of got into this the last time you were here, and I started to pick your brain a little bit. So I'm glad that we could talk more about this. So first of all, we know that there are processed foods. There are also ultra-processed foods. What are the difference between these two?
So I think of simple processed foods as like white rice. right? So there's like a real food there, but it doesn't have a ton of additives and things haven't been taken out. I always think of food as like, in general, the food is not bad. It's what's been added or what's been taken out of it that's bad.
Okay.
So these ultra processed foods have stuff added to it and have stuff taken out of it. So when you look at the ingredients, it's usually nothing you recognize.
Right.
So it's not stuff that you would normally be able to cook with and can recognize from stuff in your pantry or in your fridge.
Got it.
Those are these ultra processed foods, and they are all over the place.
Well, sure. I mean, we eat, my kids have Cheez-Its every day. They take goldfish in their lunch. I mean, we're thinking about the things that are these easy snack options, easy things to throw in their lunches for school. And they're just not bad. Then they're horrible. I get it.
I know. That's why we have you here, because we're going to change our behavior.
Yeah.
But when you say bad, I think that there are so many of us who are like, well, how bad could it be?
Yeah.
But some of these things have been linked to diabetes, cancer. I mean, how common is this?
Absolutely. So the ultra processed, so again, because they've gotten taken out all the fiber, which we normally have in our gut, we normally have fiber where the gut bacteria can kind of eat the fiber and be happy. Now these foods have no fiber in it. And because they have no fiber, the gut and the bacteria don't know what to eat. So they actually start eating the lining of our intestines, which are disgusting.
Oh. Yeah.
And then our diets just don't, like the ultra processed foods just don't have any of the nutrition, like any antioxidants, any vitamins, any of the stuff that we actually need to live.
It's just junk.
It feels like the equivalent of my dog eating socks.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I feel like this has happened and you're like, this is not helpful in any way for you to be eating this. Why are we doing this?
Most of them are like loaded with refined sugars, which we know additive sugars absolutely linked to type 2 diabetes and other chronic comorbidities. So that's the other thing that I think about. Like when you look at it, it's just loaded with the bad stuff.
This is really, I think, though, something that has cycled through because our grandparents were the ones who got all of this new, like, look how easy this is. We're going to give you a box of Jell-O and you could do so many different things with it. And that's just been carried through. So I think as adults now, we are still trying to break that and not pass it on to our kids. And many of us are failing, myself included.
Yeah, same.
So how can we do some healthy snack swaps that the kids are not going to freak out about?
So I usually say if anything that comes from the ground up is always going to be healthier than the stuff that comes in packages. So fruits, vegetables, whole grains, right? Because grains in general, they're brown. So when they get processed, that's when they get bleached, turned white.
Yeah.
So fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and then legumes like black beans, pinto beans, chickpeas, lentils, things like that.
Okay.
So stuff from the ground up is always going to be better. So one thing that I do, again, I'm a mom of 3, super busy, is I have to prep all my fruits and vegetables. So I make that food super accessible to my kids when they get home from school. So they can grab some carrots and hummus and they can grab some grapes from the fridge as easily as they can grab that bag of chips from the pantry.
Right.
Now, the hard thing is if they have the option for one or the other, most kids are going to gravitate towards the chips, the stuff in the pantry.
Right.
So one thing I usually tell families to do is like, just stop buying it.
I know, and to be honest
if we stop buying it, then,
Yes.
then the kids are like, all right, there's something in the pantry. Let me go towards the fridge and grab something. But it does take time to sit there, wash all the produce, prep it, make it easy and accessible for kids.
Right.
And I want to know as far as, and I know what you're thinking right now, Kelly, there really is none. But if you could pick one snack that we are walking past in the grocery store every Sunday, is it a Nutri-Grain bar? Is it a protein bar? These Z bars that they're now pushing to me that are now kid-friendly protein bars.
Right.
Are they all a bunch of mumbo jumbo? That's what I want to know.
Usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I usually say look at the first 3 ingredients. So in a nutrition label, the first 3 ingredients are usually like what make up the bulk of the product.
Okay.
So if you recognize those first 3 ingredients as something you would normally be able to find in your kitchen, then
Raisins, figs.
tend to be okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But if it's the first 3 ingredients are not something you recognize as something you would normally grab, then it's usually junk.
Okay.
All right.
I really want to go to the grocery store with you. I mean, I need a lot of help. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm clearing my pantry tonight.
Yes.
I think, and take your kids with you. I think my kids have fun being able to say like, oh, that looks really green, that looks really orange, like the bright fruits and veggies. That's
help
what's
them.
loaded with
Love
the
that.
antioxidants they really love, so they can kind of grab that stuff.
Okay. Good advice.
I think that is great advice.
Our work starts today, folks.
Thank you so much for being here. And coming up, maybe you love going to the grocery store or packing healthy lunches. Next, we're talking about the one adulting task that you actually enjoy. Don't go anywhere.
RIP.
Truly.
Mrs. Doubtfire, we love it. Not every chore is a total bore. Maybe you take a cue from Mrs. Doubtfire and have a little dance party while you vacuum.
That's exactly what I look like. Or you might be type A like me, and it's those clean lines the vacuum leaves in the carpet that really does it for you. Me too. And that leads us to this week's Kelly question. What's the one adulting task that you actually enjoy? What do you like about it? What made you enjoy it? Now I know where my love of vacuuming came from. Robin Williams, we love you. Number one, Mindy, we're going to start with you over on Facebook. She said cleaning. I thoroughly enjoy it. It helps me decompress.
I don't disagree.
No, I don't.
I love a good clean sesh.
But I will say my family is tipped off whenever I start getting out like all the products. They're like,
we gotta go
in a
somewhere.
spiral.
Don't get out of our way.
Something's on her mind.
Elise also on Instagram says, I love organizing closets, cabinets, shelves. I find it very satisfying. Dr. Katie Stewart also agreed, saying organizing, it's a practice of mindfulness for me. And this is what I told you. There's something about like knowing everything has a place. It makes my brain feel better.
Go to your home. That reminds me of Happy Gilmore. I do appreciate a good home, but I also am the person who's just like, just let me be done with it.
I know.
Number three, we got Robin on Facebook. There's not one adult task that I enjoy, not one. And I will say, I bet Robin is a great time. This is everyone needs at least one Robin in their corner.
Yes.
Who's like, you know what, it all sucks. Let's go to happy hour.
First drinks on me.
Love it.
Tammy says, cutting the grass for sure. It's my meditation time. I can do it without thinking about it and let my mind do whatever. I've solved many problems while cutting the grass. You know, I feel like, Tammy, you have taken on a chore that explains a lot. Because my husband also enjoys cutting the grass. And I'm like, oh, you get to put on your headphones and listen to music and no one's bothering you because it would be dangerous to get too close to the mower. Get it.
That is so true. My aunt, who I was talking about earlier, who hosts Thanksgiving, she loves it. And she's like, it's a great workout and I get a tan. Those are benefits that you need to sell more often. We have Joey Bag of Donuts, our friend over on Instagram. Maybe it's a dad thing, but I love either mowing the lawn or shoveling snow in the driveway. When I'm done, I get this sense of accomplishment. Joey, you also just named again 2 things that my husband puts in headphones for and can't hear anyone else.
Oh, the kids were screaming? I don't know.
What? You were asking for something?
I gotta drive the driveway. Driveway needs
sorry, making you safe.
Deb says yard work. It's when I feel closest to God playing in the dirt. I play my music and just drift away, thanking him for all the beauty he has provided. I really want to get into the garden more.
Maybe
get
I'll
dirty
put
every
my
once. Headphones. I do like to
You do get dirty every once in a while. You plan a ranunculus every once in a while. She gets crazy. We have Kathy Kelly on Facebook. At 72, I found the Swiffer Duster. I love this handheld device. It fits in everything. Kathy, you and my mom both. I bought my mom's house and I opened up her medicine, like her cleaning supplies. That was the only thing she had in there.
Yeah.
I said, did Dad buy stock? Are you benefiting from this sale at all?
This is how I felt when I found the magic erasers. I was like, why did no one tell me about this?
You
These
hate
have
everyone you
existed for
know.
how long? Last one, Penny on Facebook, decorating for every holiday. I find it fun. I also like to decorate a little bit. I like to break out my fall flowers.
You're an
get
early
my mantle done.
decorator. Heather's ready for Valentine's Day.
Love it. All right, still to come on Talk Pittsburgh. Changing careers is hard enough when the job market is booming. So right now it can feel downright impossible. Find out how to determine when you should make a move and the smart way to do it. That conversation's up next.
As the job market continues to shift and tighten, many professionals are finding themselves at a crossroads, wondering whether it's time to pivot, how to do it, and when to expect when you should make a move.
Holly Wilbanks from the Wilbanks Consulting Group is sharing some tips to help you navigate career changes in today's very challenging landscape. And this is something you guys have been watching the trends, as you do, and we're still seeing this stick around, and things have really dried up.
Yeah, things are pretty tight out in the employment market right now. And we don't know the exact numbers because we didn't get an employment report for October. But what we are hearing, not only from our clients, but from the broader market, is that they're feeling like there aren't as many opportunities right now. And that is literally the case.
Yeah.
Okay, so these people are not crazy.
They're not crazy, and it can be frustrating at times. But there is hope. You can think about doing not only a pivot. A pivot is where you take your transferable skills and you take those strengths and those experiences you've had and you pivot to something that's almost the same. So let me give you an example. You pivot from being an event planner to going into project management. Both of those experiences are you take something from idea to execution through that follow-up at the end, and those would be transferable skills. A career change is where maybe you start to think, hey, my industry is on decline, or my role is likely going to be replaced by AI. I need to shift, not just shift, but change completely to something completely different.
And obviously this is going to be much easier to do if you are currently employed.
Absolutely.
To start thinking about these. If you're not, it's a lot harder.
So in many ways, it is easier if you're currently employed. Unfortunately, there can be a stigma still against people who are unemployed. But one of the things that we recommend to people who are unemployed is fill in that employment gap, right? Don't just put that you stopped your job on whatever date and then you've done nothing since then. People are going to think you're sitting at home picking your nose.
Right.
Yeah.
So show them that you're doing free online courses or a certification program or you're volunteering. And there's so many different ways to fill in that gap. So just make sure that you list something there so they know that you're doing something productive with your time.
Absolutely. And I feel like this is the time now more than ever, and I know that it's stressful to be unemployed, but this is the time where you can do those things that you may not have been able to do in the past because for lack of time.
Exactly.
But why are employers taking longer to fill these open positions? Because it's not for lack of needing people.
That's a great question. And so we are seeing employers pull back and hold a little bit on hiring. And it's for many reasons. One is the economy is a little bit slower right now. We know inflation is a factor. There are fears about a recession. And so a lot of employers are saying, instead of, filling that position when somebody left, or instead of going ahead and making that hire we budgeted for, let's hold on to that just through the end of the year, maybe see how things go. And then if we're in a good position, we can hire in January or February, maybe. So lots of reasons employers are holding. So that's not just on posting the positions. We're actually seeing that employers are interviewing people but not moving forward with anyone. They're not filling the position. They're just kind of holding.
We've
frustrating.
heard this term job hugging, and it almost seems like hug your job until maybe next year, until we can see some change, some momentum going.
And for a lot of people, that's what they're doing. And that might be a smart move. We would say if you are going to be progressing your career, that is a reason to make a pivot or a change and to put yourself out there. But if you don't see anything that would allow you to progress, it may be better to stay put for a while until you see those opportunities open up within the market.
Yeah, find the silver lining, if you will.
Exactly.
And you will get out of it. We don't want this all to be doom and gloom. Everything always corrects itself, but this feels a little slow moving.
It is slow moving, and I did 3 offer negotiations last week.
Right.
So people are having traction, but it is slower than what it is historically at this time of year. And so it's good to be aware of what the trends are.
Sure.
AI is a big trend. One way you can differentiate yourself, if you have any AI skills, even if you just know how to, search ChatGPT, get some answers,
Kelly does.
sort through the white
Yeah.
noise there, and then finesse like the good advice within ChatGPT, that's an AI skill. Put that on your resume or LinkedIn profile. That can help you differentiate yourself.
You've mentioned pivot a few times here. When is the right time to pivot? I mean, is now a good time or should we wait too?
So again, if you're in a position where you don't have to make a change and there's nothing forcing you to, you're not unhappy or whatever, don't make a change just to make a change. Yeah. But if it's going to progress your career, particularly if you have 3 to 6 months of that emergency savings saved up of your salary and your expenses, and you have that cushion, that may be a time to go ahead and if you get an offer, take that risk and make a change, knowing that you're progressing, and hopefully that savings will be a cushion for you.
There you go.
Really good. Thank you so much, giving us some education.
Yes.
I can't say knowledge.
We love a trend.
Yes, thank you.
We do.
If you're interested in getting in contact with Holly and our team, we're going to link you up to the Wilbanks Consulting Group. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Really great show today. Coming up tomorrow on Talk Pittsburgh, from floral shirts to cup holders and strollers. You never know what's going to get Boaz fired up and on his soapbox again. He's joining me tomorrow with 4 new grievances. We'll see if you agree with his beef of the week.
I love that man. And she's graced our screens in some of the most popular soap operas of all time. Now she's lighting up the Steel City with her star power. We'll be chatting with Emmy-winning actress Rena Sofer ahead of her stop in a very sweet event in our area.
Thanks so much for joining us for Talk Pittsburgh. KDKA TV News at 4 starts right now.